Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. Which way should we turn this? Looks a bit weird. Okay, turn my glasses up so you can see my eyes. I thought I'd show you this. Yo, Tom. How's it going? I've literally just switched it on this moment. Because what I'm doing is cutting ends of notes off. Good. I went out for a meal today. Birthday meal. Joint birthday meal. At a Turkish restaurant. I am stuffed. I'm recovering from being stuffed. What better way to do it than to trim ends of bass notes? There's no quick way of doing this. Oh yeah, did you get anything nice? London, what's going on? Okay. I don't know what that is. I know what the O2 is. Do you live near London? Or in London? Oh, nice. I don't know what I can't quarter zip is, but I do kind of know what a cotton crew neck is. Nice. I bet they feel cozy, really. Do you know what I think maybe it's a money issue, but I haven't really bought much designer stuff. I think I was wrong about designer stuff as well. I didn't really like to wear logos, but I've kind of changed my mind because I think it's like really comfortable, and I'm missing out. Like rather than just buying this cheap stuff in Primark that shrinks in the fucking dryer, and so you end up wearing a bloody crop top because it shrunk so much. I mean, I need new t-shirts and I need ones that are like good. I'm sick of buying cheap t-shirts now. So I bet you look really smart and really yeah. That's probably why there's not many photos of me for like band photos, because I'm like, I can't wear this in a band photo. Everyone looks really fucking dapper in a band photo, in a profile picture. Like every drum and bass artist is like, it's like they've just bought it. It's just like immaculate. I'd make, if the band said, if a label said to me, yeah, you need to wear something neat, I'd be like, why are you going to pay for it? Why not? Evening. Palindrome. Okay. That's the same thing forward as it is backwards, isn't it? Palindrome. Wear a lab coat. Independence debut. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of searching going on in my head when you say things like that, because I've got an Independence Day sample in a track and I've called it Independent Slay. That was the final name I settled on because I just felt a bit silly. So a lab coat, yeah. You can always get away with a lab coat with a few pencils in the pocket as well. Maybe a calculator. Lab coats aren't cheap though. I mean, like a good cotton lab coat, you need if you want to look like a scientist, you gotta like do it properly. You gotta be able to spill acids on you and not you know, get it not dissolve the clothing. Charlene Quilly, thank you for following. This, yeah, someone's. I don't know. Have you already said that? Because someone else said that. No, I know there's no hate. No, I like it. I like the attention. Yeah, no, someone. It might have been you. If you were on here like a couple of months ago. So yeah, I think it's funny. So I had to look it up after someone said it, and yeah, I was like, yeah, actually, it maybe if it was a bit more grey, but yeah, it's definitely. I definitely feel inside like the scientist from Independence Day. Like it's basically Data from Star Trek in it. And I always liked, you know, try to model my something on Data from Star Trek. Like I wanted to be that fast at reading Data, but obviously he's an android and it's fake, so it's all made up. But didn't stop me from trying. The Borg from Star Trek used to freak. Oh yeah, yeah. I used to love that. Yeah, it was like we had to wait till next week to see what would happen. The Enterprise would get in a right mess from the Borg, or they're like, about to fucking take him over, and you'd be like, how are they going to get out of this? I need to find out. Team. So what I'm doing, I'm trimming the ends of bass notes off because if you don't, they overlap, and it's like time consuming. But it means if they don't overlap, there's less phasing issues. Sounds dubby. Odo out of Deep Space Nine. Yeah, he was the security, and he'd just be like he'd just take the form of a picture in the background or something. No one would know he was in the room, and the Frankie would be like, "Yeah, let's trade some illegal goods," and he'd just be like, "Not so fast." He was. That was pretty weird. Red Dwarf fans, yeah. Anything space, especially Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf is just rightly makes space funny. I think space is going to have to be funny. If people are going to survive in space, it's got to be funny. It's cold, it's dark. You could die in a vacuum at any second. Like, you know, it's got to be. You can't take it that seriously. Apart from safety, you know, like, but. Yeah, Red Dwarf. I've seen that Red Dwarf past Jim will paint it. It's done a Red Dwarf t-shirt, but it's the Star Wars. It's the original Star Wars poster, but instead of like Star Wars characters, it's Red Dwarf. It looks pretty good. Would a Brummy get sent to space? I know, like the UK space program is lacking. We gotta like catch up. Maybe it'll be a Brummy. We'll get up there. Wait, what is it? Lister's the Brummy. Yeah. Yeah, it's so many class jokes. I've not watched Red Dwarf for quite a while, but I feel like I should and could watch it all the way from the beginning. They're all dead, Dave. Right, that was labour intensive, but worth it because it will sound better. It will. So we're going to copy all these. We're going to make sure that's turned off there. Let's make my eyes go funny. Yeah. Yeah, they're making a new. I don't know if I've missed an episode of Red Dwarf out. At a season. I know they're making a new one now, or they've already made it. I don't know. Are they making it? Filming it? There we go. And this one. I am doing this in a weird way. I do realise this. Copy. Delete, paste. The reason why I have to do this, because if I just paste them over the top, it'll leave an end still there. We don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, and these ones are already trimmed at the end, so I think they're all trimmed now. Let's just do a random check. Do you know what? I wonder if there is an actual Max for Live trim no ends. Cutting the sound of a note after the note ends. No. Oh, well, that would solve it as well. But you want it just before so it doesn't click. Do love a bit of Koki. Yeah. Just that kind of wobbly. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Just like this an angry gremlin stuck in the amp or something. Half notes at the end, no. How to make MIDI notes end before the next note. That might. No. Trim notes. That's basically what I wrote, isn't it? Someone, I remember years ago, said they wanted a way of doing this automatically, and I think there is something that does it. Maybe it's built into Cubase or something. But I'm just having to do it manually. The other way of doing it, of course, is bouncing everything to audio, and then you still have to do it manually, but at least you can actually see what the waves are doing. Tear out, alright. Right. Oh. Send a message, because what if one of the babies is waking up? Always happens when I start this late. Let's see if this message goes through. Yeah. I'm gonna have to hear this more tear out stuff, because I'm not sure if I heard that. Right. Oh, for fuck's sake, see, that's what I was talking about. I've gone and overlaid it, and it's left this little bit which I don't bloody want. So that was the whole point of. So I think I wasn't concentrating on something. That's the only way that could have happened. I've got to check every single one again now. Right, that's got it gone. Drag. There, yeah, I've obviously fucked up. Goblin, yeah, that's a good one. That's the one that I always have in my head. It's mad how, don't know if you have the same, you guys. you have like some just specific tracks that you like go to kind of vibes to call on just to like compare against. um, I think I have a few of them. Depends what genre I'm making. I'm like, if I'm making dubstep, I'm like, do I want like a Cokie Goblin tune, or um, Screaming Banger tune, or Rusko tune, or Skrillex tune, and my dubstep knowledge of artists is really limited. And it's kind of weird because I make dubstep and I should know. It's the equivalent of people at, growing up and telling everyone you make music, and then people saying, "Oh yeah, so you know this band?" I'm like, "No," and it's like a big classic band from the 70s or 80s, and I've just like no idea. And they're like, "You don't know who they are?" I'm like, "I thought you were a music man." And it's like, well, yeah, I am, but I don't know everything. It's like that. I mean, dubstep people don't expect me to just know everything. Like, show me the tune. It's the only way. Right, all the other ends seem to be cut off. It was just those first few. I'm going to be on the hunt to find someone who knows what I'm talking about here, which is, so if you have two bass notes and it's not in monophonic, those bass notes will overlap. So see those two? There'll be a slight overlap. This note will finish and it'll decay over 15 milliseconds, which is like that much. Wait, hang on a minute, I'm not zoomed in. Yeah, there we go. Which will be that much, which means this bass is still going at full volume at the start of the next bass note, and this leads to less control over the low end, which is what I want. I really want to control the low end, like to the absolute, because I know it's possible, and I'm still learning all the ways of doing it, and still trying to remember to do them as well, because I don't think I've done it on the other two tunes that I've just gone for release. Hi Nora, what's my favourite plugin? Serum synthesizer, and then Pro Q3 is my next, probably most used EQ VST. What's yours? What is your favourite? So yeah, most of the time I do remember to cut the ends of the bass notes off. Most of the time. It's just extra labour, but I can't wait. If I'm mixing something, it's just knowing that the phases will be there competing for time and space. Omnisphere, yeah, I'd love. Omnisphere's like really, it takes up a lot of space. I've tried it, and all the sounds are like really usable. Is what my sense I got from it, but I couldn't afford to run it in the computer because it's such a beast. Yeah, do you use Omnisphere a lot? No, well, there's certain, yeah. Sometimes I think, what was I talking about the other day? There was a plugin, but it's free, so you know I can't be promoting it. Can't remember what it was. But yeah, Doug Buddy's free, and I'm always talking about that. Doug Buddy's really good for doing controlled side chaining. Thanks for following, Nora. sounds different. I've tried to make it stereo, and whenever I do that, it always happens. It always loses its clarity in one of the ears. Like, I'm just listening onto one ear now, which I've made this entire tune through one ear. I put it onto two ears, started messing with like stereo stuff, and now it's lost its mono cohesion, which is it's a trade-off. If it sounds mono in headphones, it sounds kind of boring. It's kind of harder to make it musical. Stereo increases musicality, don't you reckon? If something's in mono, it doesn't really matter if you're in the club, but you still hear some stereo stuff. I am from Wrexham, Wales. Watching the process live and not doing it. So this is something you do yourself, Sexter Mogman. It's a great name. Nice. Yeah, how long were you away? I'm drinking ginger beer, and it's like really gingery. It's so like burning my mouth. I want it to be I want it to feel like it's cleansing me, but it's making me cough more. Scintilla. House producer trying to make a remix of a tune, but I can't get the lyrics to sound right. On the same BPM, they just sound so off. They might be in a different key. They might be. If you try pitching up the vocal or pitch it down a semitone or two. See if trial and error it. See if it kind of fits. Just try tune the vocal, because the vocal's just one thing. I'd say try that rather than try change the tuning of every single track on your project already, because it might be like a few tracks. It might take you longer. But it might sound better if you change all the elements on your track, like if you all the same amount of semitones up or down, depends. Yeah, you just need to like figure out what the tuning is first. Sexter Mogman, month or two. Yeah, I've taken long breaks away from music, and I always came back. I think I had, I remember being really frustrated once. There was one time, and I knew that having a long time away would be good. I'd come back, and whenever I came back, I was just like, it was like it was all just stored in there, waiting, ready to go, just like firing out just crazy stuff I didn't think I could do. Yeah, no props. I'll follow you back, mate. Thanks for following. Yeah. Good luck. I don't usually do follow. What's it called? This thing here. But yeah, it's just called follow. Yeah. I think you see a lot of FL Studio, and they'll be like, wait, they'll like zoom right in. You studying in England? Why are your comments not showing? I don't know. The last comment that came through says I studied in England. Were there others that have not showed up? Okay, so this is just a tiny bit tighter now, this project, because it's got there's only one other thing I did to it, so I've only done 2 things to it and it's taken me like an hour. I've been talking for a little bit of that, not much of it though. Only 26 minutes. Right, so I think, oh no, sorry, no, another reason why it took an hour is because I did some stereo stuff to the basses, and I even tried to do the rim shot, but it just, I don't want to just put it through reverb to make it wider. Like, I don't like making things wide because they lose the definition. Some things don't need the definition. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Yeah. Good evening, Wallace. We are all good, I believe. Are you good? So the intro sounds are like horrifically mono as well, when they really don't need to be. Because why do I put things through? The reason I put things through on mono reverb is because it helps me. It helps me. Right, let's hear this properly now. We're only at 20% width. That's better. And that as well. Let's change all these to wide ones. And this one as well, probably. No. Do I sleep? I do. Not enough. 18 months of broken sleep now. Baby twins. It's brutal. So I kind of get enough sleep in total, but it's broken. I can't remember the last time I had a full sleep. Somehow, I mean, I'm just getting by. This is it. This is all I can do. This is all I've got time for. 14 hours of looking after people, and then just a couple of hours in the evening to do this, if I'm lucky. It's good though. It's mad how working yeah, it's mad how working like that much keeps you keep going. Like you get like, you don't tire as easily when it is when it's my time, me time that I'm in right now. I'm just like, there's no stopping and putting my feet up. I'm just like bang bang bang, and like get as much done as possible. So it's kind of working out really well for me. I was always fearful of becoming a dad because of how much time I thought it would take and how much sleep I would lose, but somehow I've made it through. It's like mad. We're designed for this. Thanks for following, Jack. You should call a body of work me time. Yeah, I should. Yeah, that would make a good. It would make it's a good title. Yeah. Are there any others? Has anyone else done a me time before? Should we go on Discogs and have a look? Good look. Discogs. Dot. I can't remember. Right. Me time. In releases. Alright, there's 5. One more time now. Let's put it in speech marks. Search again. Release. I can't see any relevance. I can't see any like titles. I'm sure there's titles like when I click through. No, what the fuck? Has no one thought of doing me time before as a name? That's great. You've hit on something now, Wallace. Why not? I mean, is it? I don't know why not. Maybe me time. Me time is this concept. Maybe it's quite new. I must be searching wrong. There's got to be someone's got to release something called me time. Usually when you've thought of something, someone's already thought of it. Whatever law of the internet that is. These days, like everyone's already done it, and they've already done it 10 times. But no, there's no me time. Wallace, I think I'm going to come to you for names in the future. If I'm ever stuck for a name, lock it in. I could call it. See, I'm releasing an LP at the end of, probably at the end of the year. So I'm going to release loads of singles first, and then collect them all into an LP, like 12 tunes, 10 tunes, or however many are ready and done. And I've no idea what to call it. So that is a great out of nowhere. You've come and said it. Me time. I will remember you, Wallace. And this will be. That's great. No one's got that name. How has no one got that name? Me time. Because it was all done in me time. It's true to the word of the title. It really is. I can't think of a better title. It just sums up the past since October. For it'll be 5 months of making tunes. Yeah, wow, 4 to 5 months. Yeah, me time. It's what's possible in me time. Valhalla Room. I feel like this should go mono as well. Drop a utility in. Show animation for width. I've got no way of. I mean, I should be using references at this point. Yes. Have you done something amazing? That's like, oh my god, I can't believe I made that. Let's get that curve and just put it there as well. What is it? Me? What is it that I use? Or Sexter? What do you use, Sexter? Check the bass on. Oh, yeah, this amazing. Yeah, if you know who Noisy are, they helped develop this. It's called Vision 4X, and it's the best spectrogram that I've come across. Because it's quite highly configurable, and as well as that, it has the spectrograph as well, and waveform and stereo field thing. I don't usually use those, but they're there if you need them, which I've just been using them today actually. It's really good because see, I used to use Voxenjo Span, which is still amazing. It's I'm used to seeing it horizontally. This is great, but it doesn't give you because it doesn't give you a history of what's just happened. You can't really see the shapes of like like this bass shape here. It's like a curve. You can see it's not linear, and that's the exact shape of the LFO. It's not a straight line. It's like a bendy thing like that. So it helps you to see stuff like that. And when you like listening to other people's tunes and feed them in through this thing, you can sort of see how they've made some of the sounds a bit easier. So it's like really good for sort of reverse engineering and getting ideas of why those tunes out there sound so good, because that's like a big mystery. It's like a big thing to figure out, like an engineering thing. Right, Dino, Predator's Vision. Yeah, it is. No, it is. It is like because it is let you down. I mean, like, so especially in the bass end, especially if you don't have like a big, well-tuned sound system and the ability to play it without offending anyone at this time of night. You'd need a pretty big sound system to reproduce down to 50 hertz and 35 hertz and stuff. So instead of guessing, this really helps, and I think it's easy in the low end. This thing really helps you in the low end, but in the high end, it's pretty much useless. I mean, you can tell there's a snare there. Yeah. That when that just lights up. But I think you can't really tell you much about what to do in the high end, whereas in the bottom end, you just basically don't want anything below 100 hertz overlapping with anything else. As just a basic rule, because when they do, they phase and get all flabby and out of control. Memory shot to bits. Yes. To purchase Vision 4X? No, you won't. It's like, was it like 50 quid or something? I can't remember how much it was. A useful tool in like monitoring and not, if you can't trust your ears, like you can't, no, but you should sometimes, yeah, like say, scopes and graphs and waveforms and all the visual things that tell you about a tune, sometimes you have to use your ears as well, obviously. Yeah, Vision 4X, that's the one. Vision 4X by Excite Audio as well. Yeah, it was it, and this is, yeah, noisier use it, so you know they make bangers, don't they? It's your 40th in April, so we're gonna get back onto Ableton. Yes, Dino. That is a good. I mean, that's what I would do. Yeah, if it was my 40th. I'm a little bit past my 40th now, just a little bit. Yeah, Ableton is a lot of fun. Yeah, the trouble with this track that's unsolvable really is if I want to make the rim shot clearer, I then have to either scoop the masking frequencies out of all the bass sounds, or duck it to 0, sidechain it so it goes all the way to 0 every time there's a snare, and both of those take all the energy out of the bass. So I've come to a compromise, which probably sounds shit. It probably sounds like there is no winning move on this project, but I'm giving up on it because I mean I'm going to release it, but I could have some really steep ducks. Oh yeah, we can always check. What do you use? Sexter UNFL. Yeah, sausage fatter. I did try that once. I didn't read about it. I didn't know what it was doing. When I use Ableton plugins, I roughly know what it's doing. I want to know what it's doing. Didn't know with the sausage fatter, is it just like an overdrive and distortion in one or something? So again, I'm gonna save this before I start fucking editing FL Studio. Yeah, I do like the way automation looks on FL Studio. It looks better than Ableton. A ginger beer goes right up your nose. Yeah. Oh. Bless me. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I did do that on one of my lives, and it just all came out. Like someone asked me what it is, and I can't do it. I won't do it now, but yeah. The best way to explain, like, it's when to use compression. I think there's different times you would want to use it, but yeah, what it basically does. See, I'm starting now. It controls levels. Traditionally, where it came from was you only had like certain amount of headroom, and if you want it to not distort, it just automatically turns down the loudest bits of your signal. But it's used for all kinds of different new stuff these days. That's the easiest explanation of like what you would use it for. Yeah, so there's two uses. It's for controlling peaks. It's got two uses: controlling peaks, and you would have it on 0 probably, like in the instant, a quick attack, and maybe even a quick release, and try and make it as transparent as possible. Or the creative uses of compression. to change the sound so it sort of pumps and moves and adds motion to your drums and stuff. That's the other type of compression, and for that you tend to use slower attacks and slower releases. And then from there it just gets more, there's more uses divide, you know, like the amount of different compression you can do on drums. That's just for creative, like, sound. You can do a lot of different things. There's comments coming in well fast now. Sidechaining's dead easy. And so satisfying as well, I think, sidechaining. All the YouTube guys are unbearable, but okay, right. I'll have to make a video then, won't I? I think it's the beauty of YouTube. There's like there's a creator for everyone, I think. You know, there's always room for someone else. You'd think it's overcrowded on there, and then you make a video on how you do things, whatever it may be, and keep doing it, because you got, that's the one thing you do have to do. You got to keep going and keep going and keep going, possibly for like a year and a half until it finds the right people. It takes a long time on YouTube. On TikTok, it's very, very quick, isn't it? It's like it just finds what you want, the kind of people and creators that you like. But yeah, so I did make I've made a few tutorials before, but not really many on music making. So I should put this in a to-do list, shouldn't I? Request to like make a compression video. Clippers, yeah, clippers are interesting. Like in this tune, I tried clippers. I've tried them on the drum bus. Oh, it is turned on. Did I not turn it off? Oh no, it's on back. It's not doing any work actually. Is it doing 0.4 of a dB? I don't even know why it's turned on. I fixed the problem by turning the kick down instead of, because I also tried a clipper on the master bus. Yeah, so you can see it's doing with it turned on, it's doing 1 dB of cut of just over a dB, 1.5 of clipping, and that means that the limiter's doing less work. So sometimes that might be beneficial, but I've listened to the kick with clipper turned on and off on its soloed, and the kick sounds better with it turned off in this situation. It doesn't always, and overall it might not make the tune as loud as it could be, but I actually like the sound of what this limiter L2 is doing right now. But I have gone right off using L2 and just put stuff through a clipper because it does sound better. Especially for D&B. When trying to like push the level as hard as you can. But there are better tools now than just clippers on their own. You've got like newfangled Elevate, which is like a spectral clipper, and a spectral transient enhancer. So you slap that on your master buster for some D&B and it sounds really good. Like it sounds louder and clearer. What does ratio do? Yes, clippers do limit it, but with a 0, it's like the equivalent of a 0 attack and 0 release time. And the downside is it starts to distort your signal. It's just literally like squaring off your round sine waves. and it adds harmonics when you do that, which makes it sound possibly a bit muddier, you know. And ratio, you know what ratio does, yeah. Vocals. I already experiment, like, I don't use compression much actually. I have a limiter to control just peaks, but I don't want the limiter to do much work. I want every channel, the drums, the bass, to already be not going over a certain level. So I might use a compressor, but I like a glue compressor, so it's like quite a slow attack, and the release shape is different on a glue compressor. So it just kind of like one one. It just kind of goes one 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 instead of whoop whoop. That's not a great way of explaining it, but they sound a bit more musical. The glue compressor, and like old style compressors. A lot of samples are already compressed. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why I think the kick and the rim shot that I have on this project don't sound better when pushed into a clipper, because they're already at max and they lose some definition. I've seen some cutting edge stuff where people are rendering the project and then re-putting just the transients of the kicks and snare back in, because of all the master processing that you're doing with a limiter and a clipper and all this, and it changes the wave and possibly mashes up your nice transients and your nice kicks and snares. So yeah, put them back in. And I've not tried it myself yet, but I think someone said that Skrillex was doing it and this other guy was doing it, and there's a way of doing it where you don't have to bounce the waveform first and then add them back in. There's like a way of doing a group on the master bus and just having separately routing the first like 10 milliseconds of your transient through it and muting them with one group and adding them back in with another. And I was like, extra steps to make your tune just sound a little bit clearer. I might do it one day. Yeah, no. Yeah, samples is. I used to shy away from using samples, but I was on a journey. I was on a journey of like discovery of, can I make music sound good without samples? It's really hard, but the challenge of trying to do that make you good at learning like how to get different textures out of like basic synthesizers. But I think without analog, analog sounds really good, whereas digital, it takes a lot of work, I think, to get something that's really rich out of it. Lose contortion using bass or melodies. Yeah, make your own bass and melodies. Yeah, I love a good melody. Just a dead simple melody that sticks in your head. I love trying. There's just infinite number of them to make. It does. Pro Q4 does look cool. I would like to acquire that. Compression, sorry. Yeah, never. I tried it. I did have some hardware. I did have a hardware compressor. I had a few hardware things. Going back to someone's question up there, I did have a big desk and a valve compressor and one analog synth and some outboard samplers and stuff, and all that's gone now because you can do it all in a computer. And I needed something that I could work quick with Total Recall quickly, and you can just sit on a sofa with it in your lap. which is amazing. But yeah, I didn't use the compressors. I didn't experimented with them. I put loads of distorted stuff through it and sampled it and never really used it. So yeah, some compression has its uses. I think for vocals is the main thing if you handling vocals, yeah, that aren't from a sample pack, because they will already be kind of compressed enough. If you're doing vocals, yeah, you want to compress the hell out of it. I have to on mine anyway, because my voice is not trained in any way. Compression makes vocals can make them sound really good, a lot better. There's a Bryan Adams tune from fucking ages ago, and I remember reading about how it was produced, and they were saying that nothing was compressed, even his voice. But he's Bryan Adams, so he's like, he knows how to use his voice with the right mic and the right, like moving your mouth away. Like this right now, this signal is being compressed, and I've given him a best shot at sounding like, radio, because when you listen to the radio, the voice just comes out, doesn't it? It's like so big. I don't necessarily have the right voice for radio, but I could, compression definitely flattens the loud bits and brings out the quiet bits, so it's legible. That's what I want it to be. That's the primary objective in compressing a voice, is legibility. And that's quite easy to do, yeah. You can't really go wrong. You just put like a quick attack, quick release, 4:1, 6:1, and just turn the threshold down, turn the gain up. Now you got a nice fat vocal. Crow, thanks for following. Bex. EQ, good use. Sidechain. Sounds like if sci-fi movies were sounds. Yeah, Splice is great for that. I've not used Splice for ages. I've recently been using Loop Cloud because they're a bit cheaper, and I just wanted some rim shots, and I got loads of rim shots. It's like, why have I not used rim shots before? Compression isn't as important maybe on your sub parts that sound uneven. Yeah. See, I'm from like my subs. If I want full control over them, I just have separate sine waves. High pass all your bass. Once you've done all your track, high pass all the bass and just put separate subs in that follow the melody, or there's so many D&B tunes. There's not that many, but I mean, it's like you can just have like melodic mid bass, and underneath it's just the same note. It's just a monolith note at like F sharp, and it just, and over the top it's just wow. There's loads of mad stuff going on, and the effect is in a club is that when it drops, it sounds like there's loads of bass. But yeah, I can't resist doing melodic subs. There are a few where I have done a few D&B tunes where it's a monolith sub underneath it. And it works really well. Like, oh wait, is it Mr. Happy? The it's da 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 da. That's the melody everyone knows and hears. But underneath it's just boom 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 boom. Pretty sure that the sub doesn't change frequency, it's the same. And it's an engineer's dream, that really. It's so much easier to phase your kick properly with a sub if it doesn't change notes. It's so much easier. But I had to make life hard for myself, don't I? Yes, vocals do have big level change as well, but So that's why you could do with a bit of a compressor to like help you solve that problem. Yeah. High-end studios have mics with compressors in them. Really? I would feel like kind of like it's the sound is out of my control. But I bet that's really that sounds like it'd be convenient for podcasters because you can just like plug the mic in, twiddle a thing, and then it's the signal going into your computer's already pretty good. Loop Cloud. Yeah. Howdy doody, he Banshee. An 808 bass. Yeah. 808's tricky to because it's like, should you compress them? Because do you want it's got pitch element, hasn't it? Like, doom. It's not one pitch usually in 808 is. It just starts slightly higher and then goes boom. But it can do that quite fast. But if you compress the hell out of that, you still get that pitch. It's probably, yeah. I don't know. There's so many decisions, like style, engineering, artistic choices to make, even just for an 808. Trial and error. See what, just make a tune with the 808 compressed completely, and then release it. See how that goes, and then do one where it's not. Don't know. Sexter Mogman, thanks for joining us. But I look forward to hearing what you're working on. It does. I mean, I love jungle, and I can't remember that all the classic jungle tunes just kind of use an 808, don't they? Yeah, I will. Hopefully every day. We'll see. Take care. Yeah, I do love using 808s. I mean, in kind of like trap, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, but yeah, it's nice to choose from. I want to have like a category of all the main types of bass. So you've got 808, you've got Hoover, or is it Hoover? What's the other one? See, this is why I need to create a catalogue and catalogue. But every time I save a bass, is catalogue it. I got so far on Serum. Like I've got a category called FM basses, but so many of my basses are FM basses, and they all sound very different. Some are womps. Okay, womp is the type of bass where it's like womp. That's a womp. Can't go wrong. Sounds like it's written. Womp 808. They just need names. It's hard to come up with names for warpers. Like that. Like a slow filter attack. That could be a warper. Or I use, yeah. I'm glad we're on the right page with that. It's like an obvious name, and it should be, because there's like a warp thing. Because I thought it could be that, but no, it's not that technical. Yeah, it's the that you get in old school tunes as well. Is that just like an 808 reversed? A long 808 punches the chest harder than a non-sign. It does. It's like having a kick. Yeah, so one of the characteristics of jungle is most old jungle, the break is, because it's so fast, the break is pitched up. The kick, the fundamental of the kick is goes up the frequency spectrum. So it might be at 100, 150, or even 200 hertz, which leaves so much room underneath for a nice big 808 to really clearly come through every time. Yeah, and I think that's why jungle works so well, because you can just have this little, it's almost like a little floaty thing on top. The break is just a floaty thing. You think it's everything. You think that and the sub is everything, like, and it is when you dance into it. It's like the rhythm is in both of them. But quite often the drum break in jungle is, it could be all over the place, like just doing crazy flips all the time. But the sub is usually doing the same pattern. So you've got this reliable doom doom, it's like a big kick, doing the same pattern, repeating it. So it sounds amazing because it's been repeated, this phrase, really fucking loud in a club. But over the top, you've just got this something for your fingers to dance to. I love jungle so much. But yeah, Reverse 808, I can't think of that tune. A classic jungle tune where there's probably a few of them. It's not possible for me to remember the names of all these classic tracks. But I'd know if I heard it. Is it later? Could be. Doom doom doom. Doom 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 doom. I don't remember. Maybe there might be a remix where it's like reverse. Or maybe it does it later in the tune, I don't know. Jackson. Throughout. Miss Jackson. Reverse drums. Oh yeah, Outcast. Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Yeah, it's really mad that yeah. I used to work in a co-op and that was on in the radio in the back all the time. But yeah, it's like really weird, isn't it? It's like a signature sound and nothing else really sounds like that track. And all the little sounds, like the little dog sound in it, and just the harmonies and his voice. I mean, is totally unique as well, isn't it? And then years later, he did "My Baby Don't Mess Around." Hey Ya, which I just thought was amazing when I heard that on the radio. I was just like, that is truly amazing what he's done there. There's nothing else sounds like that either. Hey Yeah, and then it was like a massive hit. So good, wasn't it? Now watching it now, it's like, whoa, like it doesn't hit the same anymore, but it reminds you of when it did. Because it's got that unusual time signature. It's got like the synthy bass. And it's like being someone like into making music and synth is like, oh man, like I could almost make that. Not quite. Give me some sugar. I am your neighbor. That's it. Oh yeah. Just I still feel like I want to write lyrics and I want to sing. I won't be able to sing like that. I'll have to get a singer in to do it. But I mean, writing lyrics is fun. Oh oh. I want to meet your mama. I want to make you come. It's hilarious. Yeah. Just use auto tune. I mean, I have. That's what I do. I did put lyrics in a tune recently because I wanted to specifically have an auto tune sound to it. Sounds pretty similar to a vocoder, but I like it. Pretty fly for a white guy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not massively into like rapping. But then, like I used to listen to Happy Hardcore, and Happy Hardcore sampled Public Enemy. And then later on, I found out who Public Enemy were, and I was like, wow. Nosy, see you later. So what was I going to do next? Wanted to try something, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Public Enemy. Do you use Ableton? Yes, this is Ableton Cheese Witch. Width. So I put some chorus on this. Now it sounds wider, but when you put chorus on a bass, and I can't be asked separating a bass on this one, so down to lazy. I'm just going to turn it off. I don't know why the chorus on Serum doesn't have a high pass. It's got low pass. Why's it got a high pass? Really weird. Maybe it caused some phasing problems. Maybe I should use a chorus that is in Ableton so I can have control of it. Can't get the hang of it. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, just first ask the question, what do you want to do? Like, so you've got Ableton open, or whatever sequencer you're using, and you're like, right, I can lay kick down. Can you lay a kick down? If not, like, how to make a kick pattern, or how to make a basic drums in a DAW or Ableton. Yeah, just think of the question that will solve your problem. I learned a lot, so I've watched plenty of YouTube tutorials and learned lots of things. What was I going to say? Late at night. Yeah, trial and error, just messing around. Like, that's how I've learned so much about to use any software, not just like DAWs like Ableton, but like, you know, Photoshop and just everything. You know what it's capable of, and you know there's a way to do it. You just like click everything until something happens. It's maybe not the best way. Yeah, tutorials are definitely like quicker. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff like how to make a track in 5 minutes. Oh, that's what I was going to say, is I learned so much. I already knew a little bit. I could already use a sequencer like Ableton. But then I watched TC, who's a drum and bass, because I was making drum and bass. So I'd watch his live stream on YouTube and just half an hour of watching how he works within Ableton, like how fast he does certain things and a few little tricks and stuff. It just completely changed like my view of it, and yeah, it really helped me. So I hope this benefit, like doing live streams on here. I think it is a good thing to do, to show people what I do, even though I'm not like a massively successful producer or anything. I'm getting there. But people can watch like what I do. It might help as well. Yeah, just mess around. I think there's like tutorials on like how to make a D&B tune start to finish in like a few hours or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. If you're good at following tutorials, then that might be your thing. If you're not, then just mess around. Just drag a drum kit into a track, double click on the kick and press record and just see what comes out. No problem, she's a witch. Thanks for following. All the best with it. Any questions, fire away. There's a few of us who can answer. So I was going to try one more thing. Oh yeah, so I've saved it. Did I bounce it? I'm not sure if I bounced it. Let's have a look. 55. No, maybe I should bounce it first, and then once it's bounced, I feel like I can start destroying stuff. So save. And it's not much that I want to destroy. It's just the Wretch. I'm gonna call it Wretch as well. That was like the working title, but it does sound like a wretchy kind of tune on it. Okay, so 55. I don't know what else I did. Can anyone else remember? Oh, mono width build snare. Well, that's what I did. I think that's all I did. So once this is bounced, I hope I turned off the clipper, because that would cause problems if it didn't. Oh, I turned off. That's what I did. Yeah, I need to write this down so I don't forget. I turned off chorus on wobbly bass. So when this is rendered, I'm going to mess with the side chain. So the kick and the snare, I'm going to give it a slower release time. That's more natural in the way that your ear adjusts to transients in the real world. There was a really good test of this. I can't remember what it was. I think it was kind of, like half a mile away from a really busy dual carriageway or motorway or something. And then, like, get someone to clap next to your ear, or you clap yourself, and you can hear everything go quiet for a few seconds. So your ear's got its own built-in, like, compressor. Oh, look at that. It's decided to save it. Lame. Not lame. House. Wrong word. Mag, Wretch, 55.flat. The reason why I did that is because it's a computer. What RAM? DDR5. And it's still slow. That's the bottleneck these days, though, isn't it? RAM. There's only so fast you can make RAM. How much? I think it's 32 GB. Which is just about enough. There's a little bit of headroom. I can load up some of my really big projects. Yeah, 32. In use right now, 24. So there's not even that many tracks in this. Let's have a look how many. Only 27. How much? What's the most hard-hitting drum pad you can set up? Do you know what the definition of this is? A really interesting subject that I've been trying to figure out for a long time. sometimes what you think is a good hard kick and snare is actually not very useful when you put it with a bass that you want to sound loud and hard hitting as well. Like sometimes it's good to make everything soft. Like it yeah, which goes against everything because you think drum and bass hard, good drum and bass hard. But if you listen to Simula, you'll see that that isn't true yet. That it's not about hard. It's about the right frequencies. Like it's almost like you don't need to use many frequencies. In fact, sometimes it's better to use as little as possible to get the groove across. You just need the groove, a groovy break, a groovy kick. Doesn't have to be, it can just be boop, and that's enough. And that little boop sounds like won't be much, but on a big system it sounds really clear. So yeah, that's like the discoveries I've come across. Jay Dilla. Yeah, I've got some Jay Dilla drums here. They sound amazing. Yeah, I've still yet to listen to them another time because it's not been a few years. To try and reverse engineer them a bit because yeah, they sound like multi-layered. There's like a transient, a middle bit, and then a release. Possibly more than 3. Yes, boss Ben Prophet, how you doing? Wallace, thanks for chatting, mate. Yeah, the me time is definitely going to be called me time. Thanks very much for that. Unless you want the name, I'm just, unless there's any objection, yeah, I'll just use it as the album name. Why not? Thanks for that. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good way of thinking of what me time is as well. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Hello, Ableton time. It's what it is. Door time. Kept working on that tune. The one with the vocal auto-tune vocal was the one you said you've got to keep working on this one in the comments, which I appreciate that comment because that makes me want to keep working on it. I've not worked on it since. I'm having a bit of a, I think it was only a few days ago. I just need a few more days to kind of forget about it because it keeps going around in my head. It's stuck in my head. It's really like it's like an earworm. Is that how I know when it's a? I don't know whether if it's just sticking in my head because I've worked on it, but if you're saying it is sticking in your head and you think I should work on it, that's a good. I was like, I need that feedback. Yeah, that's probably what to do. Really, is to mute stuff. No, I think I wanted to change the piano on it actually. The chord that's the piano's playing on the offbeat is just one thing, and the bass as well. The bass sounds like it needs to be something different. I want to experiment with a few basses, different basses, but it will keep this sort of the chord progression. Okay, so now this is bounced, I can go into experimental mode with the duck. So let's do a really slow attack here. Doesn't make much difference, does it? See what I mean? if that's down to infinite, it takes the life out of the thud of the bass. It's almost the bass is almost like a kick on this as well. But if we reduce it to only drop by 12 dB, you can sort of get away with. But amazingly, when the duck on the snare goes to infinite, it sounds alright. Well, if you look at the subs, it misses out some of the. Seeing that gap there? In my headphones, it sounds better when the kick kind of works alright, only dipping 12 dB, which is what it was roughly. But the snare, it sounds really good when it infinitely works, because it moves all those harmonics from the bass out of the way and just makes it sound so much better. But I'm just afraid of what it will do when you listen to it on a sub. I think, so when I mix stuff, I always have to listen in the daytime and play it really loud through my subwoofer, which is like a really, it's only that big. It's quite a small subwoofer. It only goes down to like 45 hertz before it starts rolling off. But it's just about enough to hear some of the energy going on there. And I think last time I tried this at 0, it sounded like there was a sub missing every time the snare occurred, which is what you can see. But it's only a little bit of the sub, so I don't know. It definitely will make the whole tune sound clearer if I can. What about if we just do 12 dB? What will that look like on here? Maybe that's the compromise. There's this, what I used to try as well, is ducking only, like doing a ducking only the frequencies that you want to mask. And there's a few different ways of doing that. It can introduce weird phase issues though, so I try and do it in a with level, or just a straight up EQ cut, because that way your phase stays. Your phase will change doing an EQ cut, but it stays the same once you've set it. And then you can visually align your kick wave with the sub wave. Yeah, so this, does this thing go? No. I'm gonna have to reload the. Oh, fucking hell! I'm glad I didn't save it then. I'm gonna have to reload this whole project just because I can't remember the exact settings of that kick. DJ Dean Dakin. Thanks for following. Yeah, it's hard to know what to do. What would you do? I mean, it sounds like a dub ska, because it's got the offbeat piano. I mean, reggae as well, like, has that offbeat piano sometimes, does it? I'm sure it does. But ska definitely does. So yeah, when I go back in, I'll remember your words. Don't overproduce, and I'm gonna think of every element and go through them and think which ones don't I need. Yeah, like make it simple. Yeah. But I'm assuming you mean make it simple, but not too simple. I don't know. Right, I've reloaded it. It's taking a while to do the last bit of loading, which it always does, but it should play perfectly. Yeah. So that was a 12 dB cut. And yeah, the snare it's even like a rubbish kind of what do you call it? Curve. It was a curve with it's best to make it curve. You can actually hear it when it's not curved at the end there like that. Especially on like subs. It's mad, innit? Wagwan James. But then it's just transient. Yeah. It's just the transient. Well, that is. Yeah, I was just talking. Someone asked a great question. I don't know if I answered it well enough for them, but Isaac, is Isaac still here? I'm not sure. What's the most hard hitting drum pad you can set up? And I love that challenge. I wasn't ready to do it right then. I think Isaac's disappeared, but it's a great question because I used to think hard was always better, but if you do something that's too hard, you've got a bass that you've got to make really hard too, and then they both try and occupy the same space, and then you've got a problem like then. So one thing I've had to unlearn, like if you listen to Similar, the kicks kind of sound soft. Everything sounds soft, and it's still got a piece of dirt in there. There's still some like dirty like bass in there, but even it's like quiet. It's almost like everything's quiet. But when you do that, you end up with this mix that you can turn up really loud. I think like when you mix quiet, you can turn it louder. The DJ can turn it louder, and it sounds really good. And like in this tune, this is one example, right? So the basses are super hard in this, and I've struggled to get drums that mix in with it, and I don't want to do too much ducking because it reduces the impact of those dum dum dum. So I've kind of compromised. It does duck a bit, and I've done it in a way that where the phase matches up. So that's worked out okay. But the snare, I'm about to bounce one with a minus 12 dB snare sidechain because it cuts. Seen that? It cuts the bit of the sub out, and I think I did try it on my sub in the daytime, turn up really loud, and when the snare side changed the bass much beyond 3 dB cut, you can hear the sub duck away too much, and it kind of takes the impact out of the thud 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 of this track, which is kind of like the feature of this track. So it's really hard to get. But anyway, it's going to go out the door. I'm just going to bounce with this 12 dB as a variation so I can listen to them tomorrow. It, like on 0, you can't hear the difference, can you? Because you can't hear the sub. I can't hear the sub enough on my earphones to hear the difference properly, but you can see it on the scope, on the spectrum. See it go away there. So I'm going to try it. Where? I'm going to look at this. Any consensus on? Hang on a minute. He makes the hell out of a kick. It's just transient. Yeah, super minimal. Such a clever way of mixing. I know. I want to force myself to do it. I'm just going to get some nice, quiet sounds instead of like. Arr! I'm not trying to breaker where everything's distorted. I'm trying to make nice, soulful, funky stuff, you know. Saturating subs. I mean, like, no. I mean, it might sound like I do. Like, could you get a more? It's just a square wave actually, but that's the same as like saturating in a way. But no, usually I just do separate subs. High pass once I've made the tune. High pass all the basses, and then do a separate sub that's like just a sine wave with no harmonics, no saturation, no harmonics. So that it's ultra controlled and basically make it dance with the kick, make it phase with the kick, and that just makes the bottom end solid. I do have operator. I do. And I've made like some. When I first got Ableton, I made some pretty mad D&B with operator, mostly operator. Now I mostly use Serum. It was my go-to synth, like Serum is now. One thing I didn't test stuff with it because I didn't know how to. I don't know how reliable the sine wave phase is and whether it always comes out of the same phase every time. It probably does. It probably goes high first and then goes low. And it's probably better used. I think operator it clicks a lot when you're doing basses and you're going from one note to another. So operator is probably better used to make sounds, sample them, and then use the WAVs so you've got control over the of like the sounds rather than trying to do it all through MIDI through operator, because that's how I kind of like I ran into so many problems with clicking. I still get clicking in Serum, like it happens from time to time. There's different ways of solving it. You know, like if an LFO is halfway up and then you change a note, it resets the LFO and it does a click because all the settings have changed. I haven't used operator for a bit, but operator is nice with loading up operators sometimes because you can just dial in some mad shit really quick. You can just get like a mad timbre like so fast. And then it kind of frustrates me how you can't then put a mad LFO shape on it. Oh, I suppose you can actually, yeah, because you've got the modulators now. Ableton's built-in modulators. You can just use those, can't you? So yeah, so maybe it is as powerful with these, because you could have unlimited LFOs. You could have unlimited shapers. In Ableton, you're controlling loads of parts of just one operator. So yeah, you could have some pretty crazy presets, couldn't you? Ableton instruments, or whatever it's called. It's like an instrument with effects. It's got a name. So yeah, I'm going to bounce this with a big snare duck. How big? We'll use our ears. I have three main sound systems that I listen to when I'm mixing and mastering, testing the mixes. I have these headphones, the car, and my little radio. What is it? like a little DAB radio where it's just one speaker. Because it can connect to Bluetooth. I can even connect my computer straight up to it. Sometimes I do that. I'm dancing around the kitchen to see if it's any good. That's really good at showing stuff up. Like it's on one tune, it showed up that everything apart from the kicks and the bass and the kick, snares and the bass was really quiet, and it doesn't sound it on my headphones. So something's not quite right. Right, I'm going to bounce this now, and it's a variation with. Let's just check it before I bounce it. A 38 dB cut duck. 38 dB duck on the bass from the snare. Duck variation. Black. Oh, it's flat as well. Black. It's a flat because it's nearly done. I'm bouncing stuff to flax and MP3 now. What's it called? 38 dB cut from rim shot. No, that's duck. From rim shot. It was like from 3.8. It's a big duck. Oh yeah, and also look ahead. Look ahead. Yeah, because there wasn't one. It's only 5 milliseconds, but it stops the bass from clicking as well. Ramps in. Right, that's that. So listen to it again in a week, which will be the day before the gig. No, I won't leave it that long. Listen to it on my birthday. What was I going to say? Where do you, James? Are you still there, James? Where do you use test tunes out? What do you make tunes on? Like what speakers or headphones? Not the model, but I mean, what sort of, do you have different listening environments to test the mix, or any of you? It's really weird because I've got like some really expensive speakers right in front of me that they're the best speakers that I've ever had, and they sound amazing, but I don't get to use them very often because of kids, basically. But when I do use them, it's really good that I've got them. That's like my fourth listening environment. Hip hop sub bass. Try it out. Changed my life. Wait, what's hip hop sub bass as well? Right. I think we've done for the day this one. That's good. Where's this gonna go? It's gonna go to the bottom. It's done. It even says release on it, but I'm still experimenting with fucking stuff. What have I done? I was only meant to go in and change one thing. I wanted to make some of it stereo. That was where I started listening to tunes with two headphones on, and now I want to make everything stereo. Not everything, just some of the basses. I might have ruined it. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna listen to it on a little speaker tomorrow. Right, it's nearly 1 o'clock. Paragon. That's not ready. Yeah, so the only other one, it's getting a bit late. I probably shouldn't start. No, I probably shouldn't go into one that's a troublesome one. I just can't start. Ambulant. Oh yeah, this was the one that Ben Prophet was saying. Don't overproduce it. And I kind of don't want to load it up now because I feel like I don't have enough energy. If I do have an idea what to do on it, I want to have the time to follow through. And now is 1 o'clock, so, and I'm not going to get much sleep tomorrow. I have to keep that in mind, otherwise I won't be on tomorrow night. Elixir. Let's listen to Elixir again, the problematic one. It's just too much wrong with it. Lucid. So I made an intro for it. The intro isn't that bad. Maybe it is that bass. I really like that bass, but maybe it's kind of like, because it's a dotted note. I think it might be fucking everything up. Let's go in. Have just a little play before bedtime. And no, what's it called? No win, no fee. Destroy everything. Fun splash with paint. Just like, imagine you're a toddler and you're surrounded by paint, and you might want to clap it together. You might want to just go and see what happens. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to smash it into whatever it wants to be. I'm not in control. I'm in control of swinging my arms, but I don't know what they're going to hit. Oh yeah, I really want to try out a ribbon mic. So I saw a TikTok and this guy is using this ribbon mic that the Beatles used, and I think ribbon mics were like the type of mic that was like the main type of mic for sort of recording, and because they'd pick up, they'd be really good for voice. And anyway, there's like this particular model is like worth a lot of money, but I also looked at how cheap ribbon mics are. See if you can get a cheap ribbon mic these days. And you can get cheap ribbon mics that, you know, with below 100 quid. And I really want to try one out on my voice. See if you can like enhance it a little bit with a different pickup technology to a capacitor, condenser, with a diaphragm. Because ribbon mics have like a ribbon that when sound waves hit it, it pulls on a little coil, which works different to a capacitor mic. I don't know how a capacitor mic works. I've forgotten it. That's magic as well. Yeah, and the story was in this TikTok, this guy, this older guy, who's like, so if they're really delicate ribbon mics, if you drop one, it's probably going to break because it's just a really thin sheet of metal. That's the thinner that I think the thinner it is, the more sensitive it is and stuff. Yeah, and when they break, you can just unscrew it, and the story goes like I don't know if the Beatles did this, but if it breaks at a gig, you're like, fuck. Someone gets a screwdriver, opens it up, take their broken foil out of it, and use a bit of a fag packet, like the foil out of a fag packet, and screw that in, and screw it back together, and your mic works again. Or it works enough to get by to finish the gig. I love that. So when this drops in, this bass, it's got this, maybe that's what's causing it there. The pre lead up to it. This keyboard does some weird things sometimes. So this bass, yeah, is the actual placement of the notes. Might be a problem. User 11001011. Hi. Yes, Terrapastel is my SoundCloud. I also have a DMB one. That's Nexlev, NEX, LEV. But I've not published any DMB for a year or so. Yeah, about a year. Over a year. Because I've been working on different stuff. I've still been making DMB, but it's a Spice Girls remix. But yeah, electronic music and dubstep is under this name, Terrapastel. Thanks for asking, user. I'm going to duplicate this space, even though. Actually, no, I'm not going to duplicate it. I'm going to. Gain. One. distortion. Sounds weak. With plug data. Yeah, I've been making some jungle type stuff at 140 beats per minute. So it's like the sounds of jungle, but at 140, because I'm making everything at 140 and have been since October to set myself a challenge. It's really interesting. Got like an album's worth of tunes now. Do you make jungle, user? User 1100111. Should be a bit slower. Oh dear, what's going on? Well, you got to start somewhere. I'm trying to think of the first time I made jungle. I can't remember. It'll be dug in. I kept all my tunes pretty much going back a long time. First jungle tune probably didn't sound like jungle. It was probably just using the aim and break though, but not really sounding like jungle. Is jungle your main music that you prefer to make? Distortion needs to just kind of be a bit less, doesn't it? Might sound better. Rap beats. but you love jungle. Yeah. I think that's see, I don't make much money because I think you can make rap beats and kind of make money like on BeatStars and stuff. I've not even got an account on BeatStars. I've been considering it. If I had more time to produce and really wanted to set up lots of different little businesses around music, I would probably I'll allocate some of my time to making hip hop beats. um, and see if we can make some money doing that, as well as like other things. But if you love something, it's different in it. I love jungle so much that I want to make jungle and learn how and keep on making it. I'll never get bored, never get disappointed. That tune didn't work out, start another one, finish that one, put it out, didn't land, bit of cringe, start another one, do it, yeah, keep doing that for a year, a few years, you get really good at it. I really like the jungle that I make now. I just love, if you love something, it just kind of makes itself. So I think if you truly love it, O11, you'll get there. Let's see if we can do something fun with this band. But yeah, follow me on SoundCloud if you get a chance, because then I can follow you back and we can watch each other's stuff, listen. I don't actually listen to SoundCloud very much, to be fair. Like, I'm always so bloody busy. If people send me stuff, I'll listen to it. Almost definitely I listen to it. Nearly 100%. But I don't just scroll through the SoundCloud feed much because I've got like other piles of tunes to listen to before I get around to that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I have Omni Trio, yeah. They've not made anything for quite a while, have they? But yeah, I used to love listening to like one of my favourite tracks of theirs. Obviously Renegade Snares is like amazing. Oh, it's so good. But there's a lesser known one. I don't know what it's called. I used to listen to it on a CD. Going to college, music college. Yeah, they had their own thing going on. Their own sort of jungle style, didn't they? Recognisable. Maybe that whoosh doesn't need to be done. No, it does. What else can we do to this bass? what I missed from Cubase is I just want to split this note here so I can preserve this early finish of the note there. And I thought maybe you can. Wait, maybe you can now. Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, because they've updated Ableton a lot of times. I need to restore this to what it was. What was it on? Where were we? Let's from the beginning. And this sound as well. Sounds good on paper. But it's very... something sounds very phasey about it. I don't know. It's not got any sub in it. Okay. Gonna have to go in now. Gonna have to sign off in a minute. Let's totally change that. Let's just go with this and use Serum to do some crazy bend. There we go. That as well. Okay, remove all destinations because we're not using them. Just playing. No, maybe that doesn't need to be there. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba, bum. was wrong there now. Yeah, this is going to replace all these instances. Okay, this needs changing too. I love like, just found out that I can split notes. I didn't know how to do this like even a week ago. Just press Control and E and it'll split the note. Look, wherever this cursor is here. There we go. Do we really need that there? I've used this tom roll now in like, it was in every single tune. I kind of get bored of hearing it. I think I need to replace it with something else. Dear. I think for lyrics to be on this, I'd need to remove a lot of the I'd have to remove a lot of the harmonics from this distorted bass. You're not going to hear so much. Cheers. Underscore backslash. I don't know what that. I forgot what that is. It's got a name. Don't know what it is. Skibbly blue blue. This one. Boom, 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 boom. Because it restarts, it might need to. Maybe there's room now. I want to keep these, even though I've got backups everywhere, just want to keep them there. Dum, 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 dum. Let's do it again. Do it again. Whoopie daisy. Should probably show this bass more. It's very boingy, isn't it? Don't really know what to do with it, apart from to repeat it. A lot of energy. That bass, the twangy. What am I looking at? Oh, yeah, let's have a look at the clipper. It's going quite hot into there. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to boom, 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 boom. Let's look at vision. Time it so it's like that. Yeah, just playing. Okay, it's past half one now. Just get rid of that. Put it back to how it was, and then maybe just make a duplication of it. And I just want to try, instead of it doing this womp stuff really fast, it might sound better slower. I think I've already tried this before, but I'm going to try again. It might work. It's like an angry, it's angrier, slower. It's like it's still called that as well. I need to change it so it's where even is the womp growls? It does fit into there, doesn't it? There we go. Brass Tooth, thank you. Big up to you, Brass Tooth. What if it did that quicker as well? Goes at the start. Down. So many possibilities. Do. This is called discovery, this phase of music making where it's not a full track yet, we've only got 2 minutes, which could be a full track, but it's, I don't know what it wants to be yet. I know it wants to, some of these sounds are telling me. That sounds better already. Starts a bit late though, so I'll have to change the LFO timing if I change that. These two, just move these a bit. It doesn't sound the same anymore now I've moved it, does it? There's some other that has to come later now. Sounds big though. What's LFO 5 controlling? Master tune. I see. I've already fucked it up. it's the length as well. That bit of the peak sounds too long. Why am I talking so much? Well. Almost there. Doo-doo. Who's on this one? Let's try. Remove. Dum 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 dum. Boom. I don't know why I just like making this kind of thing. it's kind of like overcomplicating it. If I can simplify it, it would be good. If I could just delete one of the basses and just kind of maybe one too many basses at the moment. Yeah, that's the wrong place. I could do this all night, you know, like not really, it's probably not the best thing to do. Just go. Oh, that's strange. Someone said that before. Wonder why. Yeah, someone said their comments weren't appearing and then they disappeared. What's going on there? Still alive. Still need to go. I am going to go. Oh shit, it's nearly 2 o'clock. So yeah, that's a little variation there. That'll do. Just copy it over. So it's kind of a thing in the track. Yeah, it's like the second variation. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. So the intro, the first bit is the same one. Oh no, I did a variation there as well. Physical equipment, not much really. I used to have a lot, but now I've just got the minimalist kind of thing where it's just, you know, computer, pretty big screen, 2 screens actually, an old one. So dual monitor, basic MIDI keyboard, complete audio 6 audio interface. I like the sound of them, but there's probably, I would like to try a really high end audio converter, digital to analog converter. And I also have it's one of the first things I bought was a Behringer MX2804. It's a very old mixing console. It gets really hot. It gets so hot. It uses so much energy. It's really bad. I don't know if mixers are supposed to use this much energy. I think probably digital ones probably don't use as much. Keyboard and a MIDI pad and a computer, right? Like, yeah. That's all you need. You don't fucking need, like, I don't use this mixing desk, like, unless, if I want to listen to, like, YouTube videos, music, and route that in so I can see it visually. There's different ways of doing it, but I like to, the quickest way for me now is to go out to the mixer and then back in to the sound card. It's just easier. Sample the outputs. Yeah, just laptop. It's all you need. Like, I made a whole album sat on the couch at night because my studio was in the bedroom, and when my partner, now wife, is asleep, you know, I obviously can't make music, and that's when I'm awake. So yeah, just had to do it all on the laptop pretty much. Most of it was done on the laptop downstairs with just through the laptop speakers, which was a bit of a mistake because it meant mixing later was really difficult. But yeah, laptops are amazing because you can just make music anywhere. It's great. It's a dream, really, because, you know, an artist can paint anywhere and draw anywhere. So for a music maker to be able to do it, it's brilliant. I'm going to bounce this now. There we go. So Control Shift Save. Control Alt S, sorry. There was an error, for fuck's sake. See if that worked. 38, right. And then render. You've got headphones. What headphones do you use? Out of interest. Lucid. Where's Lucid, guys? Lucid. Checking on the mix every once in a while. Yeah, good idea. Yeah. See, I was going wrong because I was choosing the wrong sounds right from the beginning, and that just made everything harder afterwards. So yeah, I guess if you test every sound on speakers and headphones, yeah, you're probably going to get pretty good. What are those headphones? JBL Quant 100s. Not heard of those. Right, let me write this in here. Lucid version 38. New basses and variations. Many. That's a lot of different ones. All right. Okay. 30 quid, right? Yeah. I remember my first headphones were Sennheisers, the first decent ones. and they were 20 quid. And I loved them. I loved how clear the bass was, and it took me a lot. And I was mixing all my tunes on it, and it was lacking this high end, and I didn't know how much high end it was lacking until I heard some HD25s, which is what I've got now, because I was DJing and everyone seemed to have HD25s, so I heard them. I was like, why does everything sound like really clear? I was like, I'm not used to them. I just like what I use. I don't need to use HD25s. Didn't buy any for ages, and then finally bit the bullet. Got them, and had to relearn my ears again. But now I wear them all the time, and I mix with them all the time. They're good, but they're not everything. Yeah, I still need to test stuff on other sound systems, because the bass on some frequencies, it seems to, you can't tell how loud it is. On most frequencies, actually, like it's really hard to balance the bass with the high end and see how, like, to guess. You're just guessing how loud it is. You don't want it to like swamp out the high end, do you? But yeah, I bet a 30 quid headphone today would sound pretty good, pretty solid. Right, I have to go. I really, 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 really have to go. Yeah, no, they are. Do you know what? The best speakers the car I have now, it's actually a 12-year-old car. We took a back step to an older car because it's got more seats in it. But the sound system in it is the worst. Oh my god, I think it sort of compresses the highs, and the more you turn it up, the more it's like it's got a compressor for the mids and the highs and the lows, and it just fucks the ratios up. I don't know. It could just be distorting. It's just not powerful enough. Yeah, it sounds it makes the mids the high mids sound so shit. But you listen to the radio on it, and it sounds alright. So you're like, it's my mix, isn't it? My mix it's highlighting the weak point of my mix. My high mids have always been really bad. It's probably because of hearing damage. So yeah, if I'm mixing for the car, which I don't want to do, but I want to mix, so I want to be able people to be able to play it in that car on the shit system and not hurt their ears. And it's like relearning mixing all over again. Yeah. The trouble that I'm having in my high mids is two sounds playing at once. That's basically it. So I've just got to make creative decisions. So those, like a snare and a buzzy lead synth, aren't playing at the same time, or there's some huge ducking going on, or there's a big EQ dip in it to make room for the snare. You know, there's all these little ways of solving these problems, but it's time, really. It's having time to do it and test it again after you've done it. All right. So when you played it again, you could hear it. You could hear it like a lot. Right, what else do I have to do? I think that's it. Yeah, now it's 2 o'clock. I just have to go. Well, you know, I thought side chaining would help that be less attacked. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I just love that the car can do that, because usually stuff sounds better in a car, doesn't it? Because of the bass. But no, it's my high mids that gets shown up massively. My bass seems to be alright, but the bass, because the high mids are sometimes too busy, it just gets, yeah. I'm gonna keep it minimal. Instead of using it, I might record my own rim shots because I've got a snare somewhere in a box, and just put loads of pillows on it, muddle you up. Right, Sexter Mogman. It's been nice chatting, but I really have to go to sleep, otherwise I'm going to be death tomorrow. So yeah, nice chatting, happy producing, happy mixing. See you later. Nice chatting. Cheers. Bye everyone.